Welcome back to part 2 of how to be a video content creator. In this session, we're going to explore how to film your video, and we'll start with what equipment we might need.
Equipment. What do you need to film your video? To film a simple video, all you really need is a recording device, such as a smartphone with an inbuilt camera and microphone. But here's some additions that can make filming easier and improve the quality of your video. Ring lights are popular amongst video content creators. They illuminate the subject, making sure they look bright and clear. These can be really useful if you're filming indoors or in low light conditions. Depending on your location and what type of video you're making, you may want to consider using a tripod to hold your camera steady and secure. A tripod's also great if you're filming from lots of different angles, for example from above. If you're filming in a noisy environment or you're particularly active in your video, you may want to consider a separate microphone to improve the sound quality of your video. And lastly, if you're out and about filming, a selfie stick can be really useful. With these, you can extend your reach to get a wider or higher angle for your video. It's time to film my video. I'm off to my first location and ready to film. I've got my tripod and I've got a helper with me to help me film. Let's go! A quick reminder here that if you're using a smartphone to record, think about whether to film in landscape or portrait mode. If your video will be shared on social media, then portrait mode is best. But if you're going to upload it to a video sharing platform, then film in landscape. Here's 5 top tips for filming great footage. Number 1, location.
Make the most of your location. Keep changing the angle or location to keep your video interesting and your audience engaged. Show all aspects of your location by moving the camera. Add variety with footage of your location as well as sections of you talking to the camera. Remember, if you're in a public place, try not to get anyone else in your video. For someone to feature in your video, you need to have their permission.
Number 2, angles.
Get creative with different angles. For part of my video, I'm at a castle, and there's so much opportunity here for a range of creative angles. Like this, or this. Check your surroundings and make sure the background of what you're filming is relevant to your video. Mix close-up shots with a wide angle and pan around your location to make your audience feel like they're right there with you.
Number 3 is sound.
If you're filming somewhere on location and nature is against you and it's really windy, or you're somewhere busy and there's a lot of traffic noise, then the microphone on your phone or tablet or camera, it might not be good enough to pick up your voice. And there are 2 ways round this. You could use a separate microphone that links up with your phone or camera. You can clip it onto your clothes and it will pick up your voice and record it as you speak. Or if it's just too noisy, then there is another way around this. Record the footage you want and you can add a voiceover in the editing process. And we'll learn how to do that in part 3.
Number 4, don't forget your audience.
Introduce your video and tell your audience what's going to be in it. You might even want to add a little teaser at the beginning of what's to come. In my video, I would like my audience to learn something about the history of Wales. So on my visit to the river, I'm going to film some of these information posters about coracle boats. I'll also include information about the history of this harbour in Aberporth. And remember to thank everyone for watching your video and perhaps let them know what your next one might be about.
And number 5, structure. When you're filming your video, keep in mind the structure. Try and have a clear beginning, middle and end, and maybe throw in a few surprises along the way. You might want to include some outtakes or test your audience with a quiz. And remember that storyboard we created in the planning stage. Refer back to it to make sure you covered everything you wanted to. I'll leave you with an extra challenge to add some transitions. These are ideas to make your video visually exciting, and it's worth thinking about them during the filming stage. Here's 3 simple ideas of how you can transition from one section of your video to another. Zoom into a subject, making sure it covers the camera lens, and then zoom out from another. When you finish a particular shot, tilt the camera up to the sky, then start the next shot by tilting back down again. Here's an example of this one. It's a bit chilly down here at the beach, so it's time to head into town to warm up with a hot chocolate.
We made it, let's go inside.
If you're changing locations, the spin around is a great transition. Just film yourself spinning in 2 different locations and I'll show you how to edit them together in part 3. Here's my spin around transition.
Let's get down to the beach.
I'm back and I've got all the footage that I need to make my video. But, well, some bits didn't really go to plan and there's parts that I want to edit out. And there's other bits where I want to add some music over the footage that I filmed. We need to do some editing. So I'll see you again in part 3 for how to edit our videos. Don't forget to download your resource and activity pack that accompanies this video. You'll find the link in the description below. See you again in part 3 when we'll learn about editing your video.